and we're being broadcast around the world. Thanks everyone for joining us on the Solar Objections live action role play. I have the pleasure to introduce a big UFC fan, fellow poker player, Solar Pro, and my friend, Solar Joe.
Thanks, Bruce. And I have the pleasure to introduce my friend, Wally Arida. Wally's been a Solar Pro for the last 5 years, maybe longer, but he has been an amazing Solar Pro, one of the top Solar Pros in the country every month, every year. He has over 500 installs in the last 5 years. He was actually Powur's top solar consultant last month. But not only that, he's a leader, he's a mentor, he's a trainer. I think over 80% of his customers, of his homeowners, are actually from referrals. So he's a referral master too. He has outside hobbies too. He's a singer, he's a chef, he's a gun enthusiast. But he's also super busy. And Wally, thanks so much for making some time for us today, man.
Hey, appreciate you having me, man. It's I've been watching solar. This solar objection thing for many months, and you do a big service to the solar pros out there who are starting out, and even those that have been in the business for a while.
Awesome. No, so do you, Wally, and I appreciate you being here. So everybody that's watching right now, this is the time. Go put in the comment section if you're excited. Put let's go, because Wally is a super busy guy. He's making time for us. But besides that, if you have any questions for Wally or if you have an objection you want him to handle, go ahead and put in the comment section. But if you want to show your name, you have to click on the StreamYard link on the bottom of the post to show your name. If not, it'll just say Facebook user. But today I'll be playing the role of the engineer homeowner who got referred by his coworker, and Wally will be playing the role of the solar pro. So let's get started.
Here we are.
Here we are.
So, hello, everybody. My name's Wally Arida, Wally World. Everyone in the solar world knows me as Wally World. And wanted to give you guys a background on how I came here, how I got to where I am. I'm a businessman. I've never been employed in my life ever. I've set up 5 different businesses since the 1980s, IT companies, publishing companies, and started them from scratch and sold them for $2 million companies. So my skill sets are 2 things. My skill set is to find an opportunity. I can smell money. I can smell business being made from a mile away. And my second skill set is I know how to close, because I've been training salespeople and building sales teams since early 1980s. So I have a lot of experience doing that. I built 2 IT companies. I published a world-recognized and circulated gun magazine called Gun Games Magazine. That's why I'm a gun nut. I do competition shooting since the 1980s. I do speed shooting. So I've done a lot of things. And a few years ago, I was already semi-retired. Just sold the company. I was doing absolutely nothing, just hanging around doing nothing, And then this solar thing came into my purview. I saw it. I got drawn into it. I went for an interview. Here I am, and not a young buck anymore. And I went for an interview, and the lady that interviewed me she didn't realize how what my background was, and she put me knocking on doors, soliciting leads. I didn't mind, because I've done door-to-door in the 1980s when I was starting out. But that gave me an idea on how to use my skill set to actually knock on doors and get appointments. I didn't know anything about solar. But my job was to get appointments. And in a week or so, I was the top appointment setter in the company, because it was a piece of cake for me. And I'm closer. I can get appointments. The problem was when the appointments get set, and the solar pros, and I didn't know anything about solar. All they taught me was how to get the appointment. The solar pros would go into the house, and these freaking guys can't close, man. And they would be making this presentation. I didn't know anything about solar, and I was kicking them in the shit under the table. It's like, close the freaking sale, man. Because I have $150 riding on this thing, because that's how much we were making. I think 250 for every sale close or something like that. So eventually, I ventured out of that and said, I've learned how the first part, which is going door to door, made a name for myself. I was told I was the top guy in the whole company, and door to door soliciting. And finally, I said, I'm ready to sell. So I joined another company and started selling. And that's when I realized that there is money to be made here. I mean, there was serious money. We were getting leads. I just like everyone that gets started, I would my manager at the time, or the guy that taught me a lot of the things I know about solar today, is probably watching. You know who you are, brother. He went on my first deal, and we sold my first deal. We sold it together. We made 50-50, just on the commissions. And it was a good thing. And then about a week or 2 weeks of chasing with it, riding with him, I said, I'm going to go to my first solar deal, which was in Temecula. So I knocked on this guy's door. Guy opens the door and said, in full disclosure, I need to let you know, I'm not signing tonight. I said, I fully understand. Believe me, sir, the last thing I want you to do tonight is to sign with me. So I just walked in the door, and he signed. So we were leaving. I said, remember what I told you? The last thing that you will do tonight is sign with me. You did, and congratulations, you have solar. From then on, I was just rocking it. I was writing one deal a day. We were writing 20, 30 deals a month. Some days I would write 2 deals in a day, sometimes 3 deals in a day, but we were getting supplied with leads, and that's where most of you solar guys are at. You're getting leads, and that's how we all started. But these leads are expensive for the company, not for us, because we were getting it for free. So I didn't realize at that time, but making $500 to $2,000 on a deal was a big deal for me. $1,000 a day is a big deal, but I was working a lot of hours. My days like 16 hours. I leave the house at 8 or 9. I don't get home till like 10 in the evening. 6 hours a day. I mean, I was putting a full tank of gas into my car every single day. I blew the engine of my Cadillac just driving. And finally, I made money. I was in the companies that I worked with, I was always a top earner. I'm probably one of the few solar pros out there. You guys know who you are. If you're making money, you know what I'm talking about. But there's a lot of solar pros out there that are not making as much as we are. And in my company, I think I was a top earner. I know I was a top earner because whenever the CEO would hire a new group of salespeople, he would call me over and say, "Hey, why don't you show him your paycheck last Wednesday?" He knew to call me because I would show them 5-digit paychecks, every other week. So. And I was really making good money there, but then the grind just got to me, and I decided to take a sabbatical, took a medical leave, and then decided to just. When I came back, I said I'm moving on. So that's how I ended up today where I am. I'm with Powur Solar, and when I got this whole thing started, when every year I would go on vacation, 5-week vacation.
Okay.
I afford to do that because I'm making revenue. So I go on a big vacation. I'd go to the islands in the Philippines.
Nice.
Stay in the resorts and just have a great time with my children. But last year was when I got hit there. I got stuck there because of COVID.
Wow.
I couldn't get back. Finally, I go normally in the month of February because that's historically our low year, right? The peak year, the low months. I mean, the peak months is always July, August, September. I got stuck there and I couldn't get back. The airports were closed. I just getting flights canceled after the other. Finally, I did get back. When I got here, like middle of March, it was like Armageddon. Everyone is holding toilet paper. I mean, you can't do business. There's no business. And I then realized that the only way I could sell is you can't go door to door. So the only way you could sell is by Zoom. So I've been selling Zoom before in another business, but it wasn't Zoom then. I think it was GoToMeeting and Join.me. But when I had my computer consulting company, we would sell nationwide on Zoom. So this time I started to change my presentation on solar to go sell on Zoom. And I did sell. I struggled in the first month or so trying to learn how to sell on Zoom because now I can't go door to door. And finally, when I joined Powur around June, that's when I really got immersed into. So I made no money from the first half of the year, January until I joined Powur around June is when I started writing business. And Powur is just 100% Zoom. It's just total immersion into online marketing. So I trained with one of the guys, the top guy in the company, and he taught me how to use Zoom, and then I just took off. In my first I think 3 weeks at Powur, I put in like 12 deals, I think, or something like that, and closed 80% of them. And the other reason I went there is I was making a lot more commissions now. I'm now making 2 to 3 times more than what I used to make. But the deals that I'm working on is all referrals. I wasn't knocking on doors. I mean, today I'm doing 100% Zoom business, and it's all 100%. It's my deals are 80% referrals. That's my gig, and that's one of the things I wanted to share with people today. Is you can make money on solar, just working referrals. I mean, I don't buy leads. I work my referrals, and referrals are the key for you because if you work referrals, these leads are friendlier. You're not dealing with hostile people that don't know you from Adam. You came in because you're referred by Joe, So they're easier to work with. They're easier to close because they're more receptive. And you have higher close ratios. That's the reason why my close rate is between 60 and 80% is because of the close ratio. But I've always been referral king. Even before Powur, I got awards from my other companies that said referral king, customer service king. But that's all I do. I just do referrals. Now, the reason I'm trying to set this up for what we're trying to do is I know the title of the show is Solar Objections, but I feel that most of the objections that you guys cover, and I've been watching the show for a while now.
Thank you for watching.
Almost all of the objections that you cover can all be avoided if you set up your presentation correctly.
So true.
This objection, I said, wow, that shouldn't even have come up in the first place if you set up your presentation right. So I wanted to spend the first few minutes just give folks an idea of how I set up my way, the Wally World way. Let's call it the Wally World closing, the art of closing the Wally World way. But the way I call it an art, the art of closing, because closing is more than just memorizing rebuttals.
So true.
I can give you word for word what to say, but it won't make any difference. It's really more than that. It's the art of gaining trust.
Mm-hmm.
It's the art of controlling conversation. In the art of using your skills to make that decision maker come to a decision that benefits his family. That's what closing is all about. And I wanted to share a few things that can probably set this up, because when I make my presentation, the first hour of my presentation is basically just teaching the customer, getting his confidence in the process and teaching him about solar. And then I spend the last 1/4 of the presentation. I'm done in 90 minutes. 90-minute presentation from start to signing contracts and saying goodbye. So I do that, and I always the way I premise it is there's 4 keys to overcoming sales objections. So if you are, and that's a process, this is what this show is about, is overcoming sales objections. And the first key is the word trust. If the customer says, I feel no trust, that's the first thing you need to overcome. You need to make him like you. Because if he doesn't like you, he's not going to buy from you. He won't even talk to you.
True.
That's why you start with discovery questions. How long have you lived in your house? Beautiful house. Oh, you go fishing. I see you got fishing poles. And like, how much do you know about solar? What's your interest in going solar? Is it to save money or is it to save trees? Get them going. Get them talking to you, because that's how you generate trust. And the second part of your presentation, or second key to overcoming sales objections, is I call needs. Customers thinking, I feel no needs. I don't need this product. That's where you need to build the presentation that makes him realize and decide that he needs this product. So you build your presentation that way and make it climax to say, I need this now. And the third key to overcoming sales objection is the word help. They say, I want no help. I don't need your help. I can do this myself. I'll ask a local electrician to put it up for me. I don't need you,
Yeah.
And that's, again, is an objection that if you can take care of that in the beginning, that objection it won't even show up in the end, And the last one is urgency. I feel no hurry. I don't need to do this now. Ever think about it? I'll call me in 2 months when I'm ready, You have to create that sense of urgency. Again, you build that in your presentation. That sense of urgency has to be there, that if he doesn't do this now, he's losing out. So those 4 things you build into your presentation. Trust. I feel no trust. You overcome that. I feel no need. I want no help. And I feel no hurry. Those are the basic things that you need to address. If you address those 4 things up front, then some of the objections or many of the objections I see coming up here won't even show up. And all you're doing is taking the order. The other thing I do when I do my presentation is I don't sell. Okay, I just assume it's sold. It's done. I'm not selling you. All I'm doing is giving you information and taking the order. I'm not even going to ask you, are you sold yet? No, you just take the order, And all you're doing is filling up the paperwork. So again, if you premise your presentation in that sequence, then this whole thing is almost like automatic, and it just flows into your goal, because my time is precious. If I spend 90 minutes with this person or 2 hours, I need to monetize it. I need to walk away with a sale. I need to walk away with income. So those are the 2 things. So when you talk about I feel no trust, the first thing that you need to answer is, what's this company all about? You have to build your company. Okay. If your company, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem building what I'm selling at this point, because Powur is a general contractor. So I said, we are the GC. Okay. Anything you need, you call us directly. We're not just a marketing company. We're not a dealer. We are the general contractor. You will deal with us directly. Customer service will be with us directly. I'll be on top of things. So you tell them who you are, what your company is all about, and build that company. Build it. That way it will not come up later. If you don't build it in the beginning, it's going to show up later on. And then you're climbing out of the hole. Okay. So build the company. And then they'll also say, is this going to cost me money? Yeah, it will cost you money. But again, if you build into your presentation, money is not going to be an issue, because it makes so much sense that why would I not do this? And the other thing important is, will my time with you be spent worthwhile? So make them feel that this is very important, that you are doing them a service. You're educating them, showing them what solar is all about. That way, in the end, they don't say, I just wasted 2 hours.
Do you prep the homeowner to be able to pretty much explain solar to the next homeowner, or do you tell them not to say anything? Do you try to teach them what to say at all?
When I'm talking to the homeowner, you mean?
Yeah, so the referrer who's referring this customer to you.
When I have a customer that's going to refer, I'll show you what I do. And I teach this all the time, because I'm dealing with allergies. So excuse me.
No problem.
I had an install Wednesday of last week. And the day before the install, I called the customer. And I told them, I know when this gets installed, people are going to knock on your door and ask you what's going on, whether people on the roof. And I told them, I want you to say 3 things only.
3 things, okay.
Thanks. Just say, Wally put solar panels on my roof, and I didn't pay anything. Number 2, my electric bill to the Edison to the utility company went away. And number 3, my new electric bill from solar is half what it used to be, and it's a fixed rate. It's never going up. Let me have Wally call you. What's your phone number? Simple.
I
That's
like it.
the basic formula, and it's no secret. I'm sharing this with everyone because I shared this with the guys at Powur. I didn't know this when I was working with the other solar companies I used to work for, but over time, it's something that I filtered, and now I use it effectively. I share it with every salespeople that talk to me how to do this, and because you really can't expect this sale. I mean, even when you're doing your discovery call, you can't expect to close the guy when you call him the first time on the phone.
Mm.
Just want to get their attention. So when my customer did this, and he was getting installed, people on his roof, and people came up to him, and he said it. That was Wednesday morning. People coming up to him. By Wednesday noon, people were still on this roof, installing the solar. And he texted me on Wednesday noon and said, "I got 2 referrals for you."
Wow.
All those 2 referrals, that same hour when I got the referral, set an appointment with one of them, and 2 days later on Friday, that person signed.
Wow.
So that's what I mean when you work referrals. Referral should be always what you go after. I build my referral presentation into the referral idea is built into my presentation the whole time, from start to finish. You always need to build that referral presentation, because the referral presentation makes them have ownership. If this person in his mind says, "I'm going to refer leads to Wally," in his mind, it's like, "I like this. This is a done deal. I'm signing." Okay. After they sign and then they give you names or give you referrals, guess what? That person is not canceling.
Mm.
That's the power of referrals. And if you're getting leads today from your companies, fine, you're getting good leads, but also chances are you're getting 50% commissions because the company has to pay for those leads. If you do referrals, and most companies I work with, referrals is twice as much commission as those leads you get from the companies. So I would always work referrals. That's the best way to get your deals going.
What are some of the most popular objections you get from a referral? Like at the end, you did your whole hour and a half presentation. What's the thing that's kind of one of the objections that you've learned to handle over the last few months on this virtual Zoom?
The main thing that people don't do is they don't close.
Mm.
They don't ask for the order. So when I'm doing my presentation, and I always throw in, like trial closes, So, I mean, if you haven't been trained properly in sales, I suggest you go to a training class or watch videos, read books, because art of closing is more than just being glib. It's about closing the presentation. Like when a customer will ask me, "Can you put the panels on this side of the house?"
Mm.
The overeager young buck said, "Of course, we can put it on that side of the house." You ask me the same thing, and I'll answer differently. Ask me, Joe, can you put the panels this side of the house?
Yeah, can you put the panels on this side of the house instead of the front side? Or just I don't want it to be seen in the streets.
Is that where you want it, Mr. Musakil?
Yeah, that's where I prefer it. If you can, yeah, I appreciate
Wonderful.
it.
I'll make sure that we put it there where you want it. Let me make a note of that. That way, when the installers come, they know exactly where to put it. Small things, trial closing, the sale is done. You assume the sale. All you're doing is taking the order.
Mm.
Just like saying, this come in green. Do you want it in green? Yes.
You wanted the green.
I'll make it happen.
You closed me right now. I didn't even realize it.
but that's what it is. It's the art of closing, and there are techniques, skill sets that you need to learn to be able to close your sale effectively. Otherwise, you're going to lose an opportunity. This conversation you're having with the customer is actually an ongoing conversation, and you're looking for buying signals. If they say, "You think this will get done by summer?"
Do you want it to get done by summer?
Exactly. Do you want me to get it done for you by summer?
I love it. I'm gonna steal that from you right now.
So those are basic closing techniques. But my point is, throughout the presentation, you talk to the customer to do this because you're looking for buying signals. Like one of the common questions I ask is, "How much do you know about solar?" That's how I start my presentation. how much do you know about solar? And I let them talk. Let them talk, especially the guys that are very technical. They start talking. Let them talk, because it's one, it relaxes them because they're talking. Number two, you're trying to find out what the points that you could hammer on to close them. And number three, it'll be easier to close him when you know what's in his mind. So let them talk. If they say, I know a lot of things, I've had two or three people come here, then you build on that. You say, okay, so you had 2 or 3 people show up. So you know a little bit more about solar than most people. Yeah, I do. Now, which one of those is your favorite? Oh, the one from this company, from Tesla. Oh, wonderful. And what is it about that offer that you like? I like this, this, this. And what made you not go for it?
They're
So now
pretty
you're
much telling you.
data, right? Now you know this guy's mindset. Now you work out a strategy how to close that. That's why I'm saying when you're closing, it's an art. I can give you, I mean, you can write word for word and watch all the videos that show up here and write word for what people say to close certain objections. But really, it's more about, it's an art. It's making that conversation going. And that's the way you really need to work it. So I asked him how much you know about solar is one of them. The other one I ask is, what's your interest in going solar? Is it to save money or to save on trees? If they say save on trees, then you know you push an environmental issue, right?
Which is pretty rare, right? Most of the time they want to save money, right?
I did have one last week that said that's my main concern, just saving trees. So I pushed the fact that he could plant, this is the equivalent of planting 750 trees, So and then I said, it is important for you that that we both save the environment, right? Yeah, of course. And that's why it's also important that our company, Powur, is a PBC, or Public Benefit Corporation, committed to making sure that we save the environment, right? We're one of the few, we're probably the only solar company that's a Public Benefit Corporation committed to the environment. I said, oh, yeah, really? That's wonderful. So you build stuff like that as you learn it. One lady said, I said, are you interested in saving money or saving trees? And she said, F the trees. Save money. I said, I'll like you. And then now I know I need to close this lady on the financial.
What if they say both?
If they say both, that's great. That's wonderful. That's exactly what solar does.
Yeah.
I go into my presentation, go into the presentation and say, and so we have this presentation I follow, and in the presentation I say, you can save trees at the same time. It's going to save you money because this helps you save trees, so that's good for you, right? Yeah. At the same time, I said, it saves you money by reducing your electric rate to such a low rate compared to what you're paying the utility, and then it's a win for you also, right? And that's what you wanted to achieve, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. I think we're on the same page, Joe.
We're on the same page. Yeah.
That's closing. That's the art of closing.
Well,
so when I say in my premise that if you prep your presentation correctly in the beginning, most of the objections will never even show up because you've handled the conversation perfectly.
I can tell why you have such a high closing ratio, because you just closed me and I didn't do one objection or even ask any questions. So we're closed, man. That was awesome. That was really, really lots of great information. But I'm going to actually skip the role play because that was more wealth of information than even doing a role play was. So is that okay with you? We go right into the comments and ask you a couple more questions?
Sure. Go ahead.
Solar Pro Q&A. So I wanted to do that because you're amazing. You have so much information. And first, I want to kind of go through the comments, and then I'll ask a couple of questions, okay? So we got some fans. Let's go, Wally. Let's go. People saying hi. Kuya Wally. I don't know what that means. But
that guy's Filipino. Kuya Wally.
All right.
Brother Wally,
Perfect. See, I learned something else. Teach us, Master Jedi.
I love you, my young Padawan.
Yeah. We got Ruthie G. Awesome. Yes, getting the right training is so important. We got a fan. Might be the best one yet. The truth. We got someone saying he's Yoda.
I got a Yoda quote for you guys before you go.
Go for it.
remember when Yoda was teaching Luke Skywalker how to lift that flying machine out of the swamp?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm trying. And Yoda said, do or do not.
Yeah.
There is no try.
There's
It's
no
the same
try.
with closing, man. You don't try to close. You just close.
That's awesome, right
That's
there. Maybe he is Yoda. Wally is fire. And then thank you, Wally. And then we got a question. First question in the comments here. What your favorite gun?
I'm a competition shooter. I shoot IPSC, USPSA shooting, which is it's speed shooting on the run. And so I've been doing this since the 1980s. And my guns are all race guns. I mean, when you're talking cars, Lamborghinis, mine are race guns. They are STI guns. If you watch the last John Wick, they said this is the new generation of race guns.
Yeah.
We've been using those guns for 20 something years. And I have several race guns. They're not cheap. They're like $10,000 each.
Wow.
But I have several of those that I use for competition. Yeah. That's my passion.
And we'll talk a little about that in a second too. Got another question in the comments here from Christopher York. Tips for overcoming resistance at the door.
Be likable. Look nice. Don't have a rump, don't come in really grumpy. Be smiling. Don't have body odor. I mean, anything that will distract, don't do it. Just knock on the door and then move back maybe 3-4 feet away so you're non-threatening, and then talk from there. And then it's all a matter of just finding the right door. Keep in mind that we can't expect you to close it or get an appointment at every single door. The thing about knocking on doors is finding the shell that will have the oyster that will have the pearl in it. So if you knock on 10 doors and one of them sets an appointment, that's already a win. And this is the way you take a look at it, guys. Let's say you made $10 in a commission and it took you 10 doors to make that one sale. So instead of what I do is I take $10 divided by 10 doors is $1. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I knock on the door, I get the door slammed in my face. Instead of getting angry or making you lose your mood, you say thank you for the dollar and you smile. Thank you for the dollar and you smile because you know it's numbers game. In 10 doors you'll have one. But if you start pouting and you knock on the next door with a bad attitude and the right door opens and you have the right attitude, you just lost that oyster, that pearl. So every time you knock on the door, you get slammed in or no one's home, say thanks for the dollar, smile and move on to the next one with a smile. Thanks for the dollar, thanks for the dollar, thanks for the dollar. By the 10th door, someone would say, yeah, you're the first guy that, a lot of guys come here, you talk to us and I've been thinking about it. Then that's when you start, talking to them about it. But remember, you cannot sell on the door. You cannot. No one can sell at the door. All you want to do at the door is get an appointment to come back and get the electric bill. So what do you say at the door? 3 things I told you guys. I can put solar on your roof and you won't pay anything. Your electric bill is going to go away. Your new electric bill for solar is 50% less. It won't go up. I can be here today's Wednesday. I can be here on Friday about 7 in the evening. Does that time work for you? Or you want me to come in the morning? Close them on a day and time. And then get what you need, make your presentation and come back if you want to. But I do 100% Zoom now. I will never knock on doors again. I had an appointment here, maybe about 10 minutes from my house and said, can you come to my house? I said, no, let's do it on Zoom. It's COVID. I don't want to infect you.
Wow.
We just zoomed it and he signed anyway. So that's the way you walk doors. You got to look at doors as opening a basket of oysters. You're looking for that one pearl. If you can find one pearl in that basket, it's a productive day.
Stay happy, stay motivated. It's a numbers game.
Motivated. It's a numbers game. That's all it is.
So that was a great answer. There was another answer from the comment section for the same question, a tip for overcoming resistance at the door. Theirs was laughing my ass off, no BO, which is also a good tip too. Take a shower before you get out there. Great answer. I don't know who wrote that. But we got more comments. Wally, true solar veteran, speaking gold. Thanks, Wally. Got another question here. Sorry. What is your best practice to get both husband and wife on your Zoom so you can do your remote pitch?
I try to get both of them. Normally, when the best practice is to put some value in what you're going to show them. So I would say when we Zoom in on Tuesday at 7 in the evening, I want to make sure when we're done with the Zoom presentation that you understand how solar works inside and out. So you think it's just, I should just tell you how solar works, or is it better if we include your wife into the process?
So you just kind of make it like it's a complicated thing that you're going to be hard to explain for you to explain it.
You have to make it really sound really complicated, and it really is. Going solar is an idea. It's a concept that will affect them for the next 30 years. So it's best that both knowing that this will affect your life for the next 30 years, Mr. Joe. Wouldn't it be better if we have both you and your wife listening in?
Sometimes as solar pros, we think this stuff is so simple and it makes so much sense. It's a no-brainer that we forget that the homeowners don't have that same understanding that we do. And we have to understand that it's complicated when you have to look at everything that it takes to go solar. Okay, so we got another comment. Ruth Gazone says, love it. And then Christopher York said, thank you. This is literally gold. So Wally, I got a couple more questions, if that's okay with you. You have a couple more minutes?
Sure.
Awesome, man. So I know you told us about the referral system. I appreciate that. What is I know you said you do mostly virtual now, right? Mostly no more in-home. With that, having that virtual feeling, how do you keep like a good customer experience? Like, is it something where you don't get that in-home, that bond you get with the homeowner, right? So how do you get that still customers going virtual?
Okay. Well, I'm going to answer this, but make sure you go back to that question about the be back, because that's very important.
Okay. I didn't get to that yet. We'll go back to it.
A great customer experience is when a customer doesn't even realize that you actually close him into making a decision that's good for his family. A great customer experience when it's actually so convinced into this product that he's going willingly giving referrals to you. It doesn't hurt that at Powur we have this program called the Ambassador Program, where we actually have a mobile app that we set up the customer, and I set up the customer in right at that meeting. I would set up the customer on this mobile app, and this mobile app that's where they put the names, address, and phone numbers of the people that they refer to me. And then this mobile app is also where they can track the pipeline for each one of the customers. So if he refers me 6 people, I say, look, you got 6 people. This is where it goes. This is the pipeline. So contract, installed, or whatever, 4 steps to install. When it hit installs, that money automatically wires to you. So I said, with this mobile app, you don't have to call me and say, Wally, what happened to the lead I gave you? With this mobile app, you could just go into it and it'll see the status of each one. And you don't even have to call me, where's my $1,000? The mobile app will wire the money directly to you. So that's a benefit that we have at Powur. And I'm selling that exclusively. I'm probably the most, the person that's most active in using that ambassador program. I probably am the first person to have used it. When they launched it, in minutes, I was putting in ambassador. My first ambassador was from this. Well, a customer experience is when they're happy with what you've done. You've reduced their bills, and they know going forward that they're not going back to the utility company. So I would tell the customer, again, it's a closing commitment close just before I go back. And I would say, Joe, knowing what you know now, congratulations for going solar. You and your family get to enjoy this. Now you can run the AC and not have to chase after the children and the lights. Now, knowing what you know now, it's 5 years from now, the utility company came to you and said, hey, Joe, I know you're in a fixed rate now that doesn't go up. We want to put you back into the old rate. We want to come back so we can give you a higher rate that goes up 8% a year. Would you go back to them?
Heck no.
Exactly. So that's how you build that great customer experience. Call them.
I love it.
Step of the install, you want to call them, or at least give them a text message. Call them at site survey. Oh, I see because that's another thing about Powur, is that every step of the way, the Powur system automatically sends an email to the customer copy furnish me. It will say, Dear Joe, thank you. When I sign you up, the very next day you're getting an email from Powur. Dear Joe, we know you have a choice of solar companies, and we thank you for choosing us. This below are the 7 steps that we have to go through, and below are your contact people. This is your project manager. This is a phone number. This is Wally, your account rep. And if you need help, you can call these people directly. So right away, there's that email in 24 hours. And every step, site survey, there's another email goes out. Your permits have been sent out. Your permits are approved. You're getting installed. Emails go out like this in stages to each one of our customers. That's the reason when I get those emails, I send a text to the customer.
Just communication.
Yeah, communicate. I just wanted to let you know that permits are being submitted. I'll keep you posted. 2 lines, but just keep doing that every step of the way, and that's how you maintain great customer experience.
The simple.
I work for Powur is the one that gives me the best customer experience so far, because when they call, they talk to a real person, and you have one person assigned to that specific customer, and you're not talking about, in most companies there's 10, 15 people assigned in customer service. At Powur, they have tons. They had 6, 7 times more than that. And every person is required to resolve a situation in 24 hours. So this commitment to customer experience works great for me, because without great customer experience, I'm not getting referrals. And that's why with my sales, when I make a sale, I get a referral out of that sale. Even when I don't make a sale, they say the guy failed credit.
Yeah.
You'll get referrals from him, because I can still set him up as ambassador and he can still make $1,000.
Man, this is so much gold. And sometimes people hear it and they don't take action. But when you see it happening and you see a guy who's maybe $1 million a year guy, and this guy is telling you information that's working for him, I'm listening. My ears are wide open. So Wally, thanks so much, man. There's a couple more questions here I wanted to get into real quick. Wally, what is the percentage of closing on a B-back for you?
All right, here's the reality about B-backs, okay? Like I mentioned to you guys in the beginning, my goal is to close on that first sale, because I want to monetize it. If I don't close, I didn't make anything, okay? The percentage if they said, I'm going to think it over, and you let them think it over and say, okay, I'll call you next week, that the percentage of that sale happening next on the second call is 50% less. Okay, and then if they say on that call it's another 2-3 days to call them, the chances of that sale happening on the third call is another 50% less. So you really want to close that sale on the first visit, because if you don't, they're not buying anyway. Without twisting arms, I mean, you don't want to be the pushy salesperson, but you want to take the order. And one of the things I learned, from the other companies I work for before Powur, is we start closing on getting financing approved. If you're not getting a financing approved or the application part done on the financing, you're not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
If they give you their social security number and all this, and it's willingly they give it to you, then it's gold. You are on your way to doing this. But if you don't even get that far, then you're not getting anywhere. You wasted 2 hours of your time and their time, because remember, you want to help them. And if you don't close the deal, you didn't help them. You just wasted 2 hours of their time.
Are you good with them just qualifying and then making another appointment, or do you want to do everything no matter what?
Everything's done. If they qualify now, I send you the paperwork, and let's start going over this. And let's get it done. Let me schedule that site survey. Let's get you going.
Got you. You don't want them to go, okay, go get this done. You want them to do it while you're with them, before you get off the phone with them or Zoom with them, right?
Zoom, right. It's the same thing when we were going door to door. We would be calling in, and then we'll get the documents and we'll get them to sign door to door. The skills, again, it's close. It's a closing game. It's a closing technique, and it's an art of closing. Like when we would go door to door, and we would say, hey, I would say this. I would type this. You live in 123 Main Avenue. knowing it's Main Street. I'll say it's no 123.
Ah,
No, it's Main Street, not Avenue. I mean, if you correct me, you're saying keep going. I keep going until you stop me. If you stop me, that's when I pull back, reconsider what's going on, and then close
mm,
it. But remember, assume the sale. That's what it is. You assume it's done. You're just taking the order until they stop you. Most salespeople are so afraid to even take the order. When I was
exactly.
beginning,
Right.
new salespeople, when I was starting in my old, as a rookie sales guy, my heart was pounding just to get that, ask for the order. But now it's just natural, just ask for the order because it's a done deal. All you're doing is taking the order.
You're just clearing the path, so making it an easy transition from what they're doing now to getting a system on the roof. Just make the path nice and easy for them to walk down and just click yes, next.
Start helping them. Solar is the only product I've sold that I feel no guilt about.
Exactly.
Every customer that I've helped, that I sold solar, I've helped them, and I feel no guilt about it. That's why I have no problem disclosing everything.
I agree.
I've worked with solar reps in the past who would not even disclose the 26% that you got to return. They say this is your fixed amount at 150, not saying this is going to be 250 after 18 months. I disclose everything. There's no need to hide it. It's a good product. It's a good, clean, honest product. If you disclose everything, people say, yes, it's a good product, and they'll go for it.
That's awesome. So we got more comments I want to get through. I know you have to go soon. And again, Wally, I know you're so busy. Thanks for making time. Awesome stuff. Thanks, amigos. That's a really cool idea, the mobile app.
Yep, that's the Powur way.
And
I send that mobile app to everyone that I know, even people that have solar. Like I would talk to somebody on the phone and they'll say, "Hey, do you have solar yet?" They say, "Yeah, I have solar." Wonderful. You are the perfect person, to explain solar to people because you have solar. How would you like to make $1,000 for every customer that you refer to me? Would you like to make $1,000 a month? And say, "Yeah, how about 2,000 a month?" Yeah. Let me help.
It makes every conversation potentially like good because like every single person probably knows somebody else that owns their home, right? Like so it's everybody.
I'm in Southern California. For you guys don't know. I live about 20-30 minutes from the wineries, the local wineries here.
Okay.
And every weekend I'm at the winery because I'm a member. I took a membership because it's a company expense anyway. And I bring all my friends and my customers to the winery. And I have that link right away. If I talk to someone at the winery and say, "Hey, do you have solar yet?" "Yeah, I do." "Wonderful, man. How's the experience?" "Oh, it's great." "How would you like to tell people about it and make $1,000 every single time?" "Here, let me send you my app." I send them the app. They sign up and say, "Great. Next time somebody talks to you, hit me up and I'll do all the work for you. It's $1,000 a month. $1,000 if I could give you one a month." So that mobile app is killer. I've worked with different other solar companies in the past that tried to do something like this. It's not even close. I couldn't get that app to work. The concept, I just couldn't get any referrals from them. But this one is just killer. This is an awesome idea, this mobile app.
Because it's not built on you just telling them, "Oh yeah, you're gonna get it, I promise." Like they see it for themselves, and that's always better when they see it. It's paid by a third party.
What's going on, and when it's hit installed, the money goes right away. It's automatic wire transfer.
I don't know what it is. Homeowners don't like when you say the check is in the mail. I don't know what it is.
I used to have to write checks to my customers before.
Yeah.
I would go to the home and write write a check and deliver to them, and then issue them a W-9. But that was before Powur. Now I don't. Everything's just automatic. I don't have to deal with it. I don't have to do accounting. Powur does all the accounting for me.
Well, some people are saying that, I call every week no matter what.
Perfect. That's the way to do it. Customer service is king, man.
And then Christopher York said 2 times be back as a professional visitor. And we got another fan here. "I am fortunate enough to have seen Wally in action with real homeowners. He is the man."
Oh, thank you.
Some more proof there. So we got an objection somebody wants you to handle. Are you ready?
We'll try. Let's give it a shot.
All right, we got one in here. "Wally, thank you for everything, but I need to think about it."
Oh, that's okay, Joe. I fully understand how you feel. If I were in your shoes, I'll do the same thing. But just to clarify my thinking, Joe, what is not clear about what I told you? What is it that you want to think about? Is it the 30-year warranty that we're giving you with Powur on parts, labor, and roof? Is that
No,
something that's good for you?
no, 30 years is the best warranty I've seen for sure.
Awesome. Okay. Now, is it the fact that we will say I'm going to save you $150 a month on your electric bill compared to the utility company? Is that
No, I love that. I say that's a lot of money I'm saving. That's great. I like that part.
Is it the fact that it's going to take us about 8 weeks from start to finish to until you get there and buy solar? Is that too long for you?
I could wait a few weeks. No big deal.
Now, is it me, Joe?
No, you're awesome, man. You were so knowledgeable. You're so nice. No, thank you for everything. You're an awesome guy.
Now, be honest with me. Is what keeping you from going solar? Is it the money?
No, it seems like I just want to make sure I'm getting the best deal. That's it.
And if I can show the best deal, so the one I'm giving you right now, the numbers I'm giving you, that's already good for you.
I mean, it is pretty good. I gotta admit it.
This is an 8-week process. Okay, today is April. By the time I'm done with this, with no delays, it's gonna be around the end of June. And right now, your average bill is about $200 a month, and you know how much your bill is gonna be in July and August, right?
Oh my God, it's like $500-600. I'm expecting that.
And I'm starting you off at $85 a month today. If I want to get you in June, that way when July hits, I can save you that $600 in the electric bill. Let's get this started. What's the address here?
123 Main Street.
Wonderful. Okay, and what's your birthday?
13179.
Perfect. Do you own this house or do you have a mortgage?
I got a mortgage, man.
Okay, wonderful. And I just need what's the last word of your social? Don't tell me. Perfect. So let me see if you qualify. It'll take about a few minutes. Just play online bingo and let's go play. Bing. 10 seconds. Wonderful, Joe. You just qualified for solar. I can have somebody out here in about a week and get that inspection started for you.
The next comment tells me what I was thinking. Wally the man. I'm not sure what the next comment is saying. It says something about Joe sounds like the great Rick Grosso.
Must be a famous guy, man.
It must be a famous guy. Hey, last question, and I'm going to let you go, Wally. I'm trying to look through my questions here to look for the best one. But I'm really a big fan of you and what you did. But we talked a lot about solar today. Talk a little about yourself. I know you talk about being a gun enthusiast, but I know you're a singer and you're a chef, and people on Facebook kind of see what you do. Talk a little bit about your hobbies outside of solar.
I'm very fortunate that because I make a good living, that I can do the things that I want. I can buy $10,000 race guns if I wanted to. I have several.
Nice.
And so shooting is one of my passions. I've been a competition shooter speed shooter since 1985, I think, or 86. I don't do it as much now as I can because of my work, but once a month or so, I still try and go out there and just get the juices glowing. There's nothing like shooting against a timer. It's just racing against time with your gun. There's nothing like it. I'm also a gourmet chef. I love food.
I've seen some of your Facebook posts, and your food looks amazing, man.
I can cook. I used to, when I was in between businesses for solar, one of the things I dabbled in, just to keep me busy, is I would cater fine dining parties just because.
Wow.
And I would cook, and I'll invite my friends over my house. I'd cook up a storm, open nice bottles of wine. I still do that. If you're
Get me on the VIP list.
And if you're in the Southern California area, hit me up. I'll bring you guys to the winery. So those are some of the things I do. I just work out of the house now. I used to work Monday to Saturday when I was with the other solar companies. I even started to work 7 days. And my CEO said, I don't want you working 7 days. You're going to kill yourself. And he was right. I burned myself out. So now I work Monday to Friday. Saturday, Sundays, I'm playing. And I make enough money Monday to Friday. I don't really need to work Saturday, Sunday. I need to be fresh. Because to me, when I go into a closing appointment, I need to be totally fresh and totally ready to face, any objections. If I go in tired, half-assed, and I'm not on top of my game, I'm going to lose my patience. I don't think properly. There's a reason when we used to work door to door, driving from my area was from San Diego to Victorville, from Palm Springs all the way to LA. I mean, that's a big area. And there were times that I'd be so tired in the middle of the day, running from one appointment to the next. I would stop at a movie theater to sleep for half an hour, just so I can refresh and be ready to go to the next appointment. Because I wanted just like in any performance game, performance shooting sport or performance sport, you need to be totally ready on your physical prime when you go into closing a sale. And I would do that. You know those massage places in LA, in Southern California, even in your place, where I think at that time was $25 for an hour foot massage. I would go there and sleep an hour, pay $25.
Oh, you really?
So I could be ready and be recharged for the next appointment, make sure I can close it. But that's the kind of things you need to really enjoy your life. And I go on vacations. I was in Vegas a couple of weeks back, and all I did was eat at the best restaurants. I don't gamble. I just go there to eat and try the food. So looking forward to going to Hawaii in a month.
Oh, nice. Where are you going?
In Hawaii, maybe about a month from now.
Which island?
I don't know yet.
You don't know yet? You're just gonna go. I'm going to Hawaii. I don't care which island you're going to.
Back, And then when COVID lifts, I want to go back on my vacation.
Yeah.
I have plane tickets and beach reservations in the Philippines that I need to go to, or otherwise I lose my money. So.
Oh yeah, then you definitely got to use it. So I know you got to go, Wally. I got a couple more comments, and that's it. I don't think you're gonna be able to do this one, but can Wally sing us a goodbye song? How about they follow you on Facebook and you guys see you do your thing on Facebook?
Well, we could try. I got sunshine on a cloudy day. It's nice talking to all you guys. You guys have been a great audience. The one.
All right, almost done.
It's really wonderful.
I love Wally Arida and how he runs solar.
It's a
Much
Wally
appreciation, Wally World. Much appreciation for this, Joe and Wally. Thanks for everything. See you Tuesday morning. I'm not sure who that was, but let's see you Tuesday. All right, last question. Any tips, any advice for new solar pros? And then let's get you going.
You're a new solar pro. You'll be getting temptations from people to sell you leads and do that. I never buy leads. I have several companies that called me because of my name being out there, and they call me and say, "Hey, we can give you leads. Can you do more business?" I said, "Yes, I can. How good are your leads?" And they'll say, "I'll pay me $2,000, $1,000 a month." And I said, "How good are your leads?" They said, "They're very good, wonderful. If the leads are good, why don't you send it my way? We'll go 50-50. So instead of you making $1,000 a month on me, you'll make a couple of $1,000 a week."
Exactly.
And no one is taking me up on it. So if you're a new guy, the first thing I would do is take out my phone list and call everyone on the phone list. In my group that I work with at Powur, with Orange Solar and Dan Crawford and these guys, we actually have a drill that we do where we do a 90-minute blitz once a week, where you text everybody on your phone list for 90 minutes, nonstop. Keep texting them for 90 minutes. If people start responding, you don't even respond, just keep texting. In 90 minutes, you'll probably get, maybe 2, 3, 4 people to respond. Then those are the people you call back. So when you talk to these people, the first thing you want to find out, do you have solar or you don't? If you have solar, then that's great. That's wonderful. How's the experience? Then get referrals. Okay. The reason I want you guys to work your friends and family list first is, one, it's free. Okay, and these people will talk to you, so at least you'll get something to talk to. And if you don't talk to them today, solar is so popular that people are knocking on that door several times a day. If you don't talk to them in the next 2 weeks, and then you hold off and calling them for 2 weeks, and you call them later, and they'll say, "Oh, you know what? I just signed up for solar. You should have told me before." So that's why I'm telling people that friends and family is your first call. I have a rep that actually sat on starting on solar for about 3 weeks before he started actually getting serious. In 3 weeks, his cul-de-sac, 3 people put up solar. And then he called me. He said, I should have listened to you, man. That's 3 deals I could have gotten, you know. So call friends and family. That's your first call. But don't stop at friends and family. Get referrals from them, and then work those referrals too. It's a non-stop organic thing. Just keep working referrals. Make them give birth and give birth and give birth, and you'll never run out. One last thing I'm going to close and share with you guys, Joe, in a few minutes. Referral business is based. My referral business is based on 2 things. That if you've been running solar for a long time, you probably relate to this. The 2 things I base my referral business in is, number 1, data management, and number 2, customer service. I explained customer service earlier, so it's very important. If you don't have good customer service, you're not going to get referrals. But data management is the other thing. If you don't have a CRM or contact management, a CMS or a contact management system, then you're losing out. I have a database of every single customer that I talked to since I started solar. Every single one I talked to, I have the name, address, phone number, and notes. And I'm a data hog that way. That's why today I have several thousand names on my database. And I can just keep going back to them for referrals and hit them for referrals. Even if they didn't buy, I still go back and talk to them. I pay someone cash to handwrite me Christmas cards to every single one of these people every December.
Wow.
So that way they get, handwritten Christmas cards. So those are the 2 things, is data management and customer service. The reason I encourage you to make a list, and if you're starting out, this is the time to do this. I know solar pros that I work with that never did this, that they work for big solar companies and started writing leads or running leads and didn't sell them. And even when they sold the customers, they didn't keep a list of those. And here we are 5 years later, and they don't have a single name on their database, even the people they sold to, and they can't get calling for referrals. So if you're working for a company, make sure that, yes, you'll probably be on their database, getting leads from them, and that's their lead. That's fine. But if you leave and they shut off your connection to that computer, to that list, you're done. Everything you work for, even the customers that you referred to, is gone. I draw a line somewhere. I will not write a lead. I will not write a deal if the lead was given to me by another solar company. That's where I draw the line. If the deal was somebody I sold, I will get referrals from that without guilt, because I'm getting the referrals because of my service. So that's why I'm saying that data management is really your key. You need to manage data and write it down and be the customer service king. Keep your customers happy.
That's such great advice, Wally. I mean, I really appreciate it. You're giving free value out to everybody. You don't have to, and that's really awesome. So I know you have to go, but thank you again, Wally, for doing this, man. If I know a lot of people are gonna want to reach out to you, how can they if you are okay with it?
Just you contact me on Facebook. That's the easiest way. You can message me. You can send me in. You can just look me up or go to Solar Objections and flag me when you put a note, and I'll see it. Then I'll be able to reach out to you. And I wish everyone, that the success that I have been enjoying in solar, and I've been blessed to be in solar. I really have been. I thought I would be retired doing nothing, but now I'm actually on the second year. I'm enjoying every minute of it. I'm really.
Yeah, I can see you're smiling from ear to ear, and I see all your success. I've known you for a while now, and I know how amazing of a solar pro you are. So we have more fans. Absolute fire. Thank you guys. Fire. Appreciate both you guys. And then we have another solar pro next week. We got Ryan Smith is going to be here, who's a really experienced solar pro too. But Wally, again, that's it, man. I know you have to get to your appointment. Thank you so much for being here. We'll talk again.
All right. Peace out, guys.